बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। रब्बी ज़िदनी इल्मा, ए मेरे रब मेरे इल्म में इजाफ़ा फरमा, आमीन। अस्सलाम वालेकुम क्लास, I am your physics teacher Iram. We are studying chapter number 13, electrostatics. Today our topic is electroscope. After learning this topic, you will be able to define electroscope and tell its construction. Describe the charging of electroscope by different methods and describe the working and uses of electroscope for different purposes. Let's recap some of the important points. Similar charges repel each other. Opposite charges attract each other. Conductors have free electrons which are responsible for the conduction of electricity. Since the earth is good conductor, it can supply or accept an excess charge easily. It means it can take the electrons in or out from it if connected to any device. Only electrons means negative charge can move from one place to another. As protons are bound in the nucleus, so only electrons can move from one place to other. Let's start with the electroscope. An electroscope is a sensitive instrument for detecting charges. It is used for the detection of charges or on the other objects. Let's discuss its construction first. You can see a brass disc, brass rod, insulator, glass jar, aluminium foil, gold leaves and a ground terminal here. Let's see. Here is the brass disc. At the top, it is connected with this brass rod and the lower end of the brass rod is connected with the gold foils. Whole of this assembly is mounted inside this glass bottle or glass jar, and it is mounted with the help of this insulator. It can be a cork or rubber. It is an insulator so that the charges cannot be lost from this thing. So we can say that the brass disc, the brass rod and gold leaves are connected to each other and they are mounted inside the glass bottle with the help of this insulator, and the lower end of the glass jar is having an aluminium foil here which is grounded or it is connected with the earth to in order to protect the leaves from the external electrical disturbances. So these are the parts of the electroscope. Electroscope is used for different purposes. Number one is detecting the presence of charge. Electroscope can be used to detect the presence of charge on any body. How it is used for this purpose? In order to detect the presence of charge on a body, bring the body near the disc of an uncharged electroscope. Anything under test will be taken near to the disc of the electroscope. If the body is neutral, there will be no deflection of the leaves. If the body is positively or negatively charged, the leaves of electroscope will diverge. For example, if the body is negatively charged, then due to the electrostatic induction, positive charge will appear on the disc while negative charge will appear on the leaves. The leaves of electroscope repel each other and diverge because each leaf gets similar charge. The divergence of leaves will depend upon the amount of charge on the body. Let's discuss how this happens with the help of figure. First of all, you have to keep in mind that an uncharged electroscope will appear like this. Its leaves will be in the collapsed condition, and a charged electroscope will appear like this in the scattered position, or we can say in diverse position. So these are the charged and uncharged electroscopes. Now firstly, we will see how a material can be tested. The material under test or the rod under test is brought near the disk of an uncharged electroscope. So what will happen? You can see here a negatively charged rod is brought near the disk. This is the disk of electroscope. It is connected with the brass rod and it is connected with the leaves on the other end. So what will happen? Due to electrostatic induction, this negatively charged rod will attract the positive charges on this end, and all the electrons or all the negative charges will move towards the leaves. As both of the leaves get negative charge, so they will be diverged, they will be scattered. So by using electroscope, you can guess the body is charged. Whether positive or negative, just we have to see that either the body is charged or not. So if this is the case when a positive charged rod is brought near the disc of the electroscope, and what will happen if the positive charged rod will be taken near the disc. A positive charged rod is taken near the disc of the electroscope, all the negative charges will be attracted towards it and they gather at the disc, and positive charges are left behind on the leaves because all the negative charges, all the electrons move towards the disk, and the leaves are left with only positive charges, means deficiency of electron is created there. That's why the leaves get, both of the leaves get similar charges and they will be repelled, they will be in diverse condition. So in both of these cases, the divergence of the leaves are changed from this condition, as we have taken uncharged electroscope for detecting the presence of charge on any object. So we have seen that either the body is negatively charged or positively charged, the leaves change their divergence from collapsed condition to the scattered condition. So we can say that whenever a charged body is brought near the uncharged electroscope, the leaves will diverge. If so, what will be the final case? If the body is uncharged, the divergence will not change. The leaves will remain in their collapsed condition. There will be no divergence in that case. So that's how an electroscope is used to detect the presence of charge on any object. Next, how can we charge an electroscope by electrostatic induction? As we have discussed earlier that any object can be charged with the help of electrostatic induction. Let's see how an electroscope can be charged with the help of electrostatic induction. Electroscope can be charged by the process of electrostatic induction. In order to produce positive charge on the electroscope, bring a negatively charged body near the disc of electroscope. Positive charge will appear on the disc of electroscope while negative charge will shift to the leaves, as we have just discussed. Now connect the disc of electroscope to earth aluminium foil via conducting wire. Charge of the leaves will flow to the earth through the wire. Yes, now if we first break the earth connection and then remove the rod, the electroscope will be left with positive charge. How this will happen? Let's see with the help of diagram. In this figure you can see we have taken a negatively charged rod near to the disc of the electroscope. What is happening here? Due to these negative charges and due to the electrostatic induction, these positive charges will appear on the disc of the electroscope and the leaves will be present on the the negative charge will present on the leaves and they will diverge. This is due to electrostatic induction. Now as we want to charge the electroscope positively, so we are taking this negative charge rod near the disc. Positive charge appear on the disc and negative charge will appear on the leaves. In the next step, we have to connect this brass disc with the earth terminal so that the electrons can move. Now, as these positive charges are bound to the negative charges of the rod in such a way that they are being attracted here, so they cannot move. as we know that the positive charges cannot move, the protons cannot move, only electrons can move. So what will happen, the electrons present on the leaves will move towards the disk, and from disk they will move toward the earth. They will sink in the earth. So what will happen, the leaves will be collapsed because the negative charges are not present there now. So what will happen here, all the negative charges will move toward the earth's terminals. They will be the leaves will be collapsed now, and the negatively charged rod is still there, and in the next step we have to break this earth terminal first, and then we have to remove the negatively charged rod from the brass disc, near to the brass disc. When we take it away, there will be only positive charge left on the disc, and it will redistribute it on whole of the assembly in the brass disc, brass rod and the leaves will diverge again because now they have positive charge on them. In this way, whole the electroscope is now charged as positive. It is now positively charged. In the same way, we can also charge it negative. How it can be? It can happen. For charging the electroscope negatively, we have to bring a positive charge rod near to the brass disc. Let's suppose here is a positively charged rod. What will happen? Yes, now it will attract negative charges on the disc, and the leaves will be left with only positive charge. The deficiency of electrons will be there, and what will happen? The electrons will move towards the disk. Again, in this case, now consider the negative charges as positive now, because we are taking the positively charged rod here, and these positive charges are now negative because the brass disc is negative. What will happen? Now we have to again connect this brass disc with the earth terminal, but in this case what will happen? Now earth will provide electrons to the electroscope. These electrons will move to the leaves and it will neutralize the positive charges. These positive charges will be neutralized and the leaves will be collapsed again. Now the leaves are collapsed. It means the positive charges are neutralized by the electrons provided by the earth. These negative charges are being attracted by the positive charges and they are still there. So when we break this earth terminal by keeping the rod near this charge rod near to the disc, we have to first break the earth terminal and then we have to remove this positive charge rod. What will happen? The negative charge will be left on the electroscope. It will redistribute itself and the electroscope will be now negatively charged. Negative charge will be there on the leaves also, so they will diverge again. So as I have told you that the charged electroscope, the leaves will be in diverged condition. So this is the method for charging the electroscope by induction. Here is another method by which we can charge an electroscope, and that is the method of conduction. So how we can charge an electroscope by conduction? Just like it is a simple method. You can see in first figure the electroscope is uncharged. Why? Because the leaves are in collapsed condition. Now what we have to do? We have to just take a charged rod. For example, we have taken a negatively charged rod here. It has excess of electrons. When we touch it with the brass disc, the electrons from this rod will be transferred to the electroscope, because you know that electrons can move from one place to the other. So these electrons will move to the electroscope. There will be an excess of electrons there. When we take this rod away, the electroscope will be left with only negative charge. So that's how we can charge the electroscope by conduction. Detecting the type of charge. Here is another purpose for which the electroscope is used, that is detecting the type of charge, that whether a body is positively or negatively charged. Let's see how is it possible. For the detection of type of charge on a body, electroscope is first charged either positively or negatively. Suppose the electroscope is positively charged. Now in order to detect the type of charge on a body, bring the charged body near the disc of charged electroscope. If divergence increases, the body carries positive charge. On the other hand, if divergence decreases, the body will have negative charge. Now you can see that we will have a charged electroscope first, and we have to charge it first. We must know, we will know that what type of charge is present on the electroscope, that either we have charged the electroscope positively and negatively. Then we will know the material under test, that whether it is positive or negative. For this purpose we are using a charged electroscope. Let's see how. Here you can see, once electroscope is charged, it can be used to test other charged objects. Testing for positive or negative. Here is a positively charged electroscope. You can see positive charge is present and the leaves are in diverse condition because both of the leaves are having positive charge. So if we bring a charged rod near to the disc of the electroscope, now we don't know what type of charge is present on the object, on the rod which is brought near the disc. So by the divergence of leaves we will guess the charge present on the body. Positive charge on the rod attract negative charges away from the leaves. The leaves become more positive and spread farther apart. Now as you can see that the leaves are already in diverse condition. If we brought a positively charged rod near to the disc, what will happen? Some of the negative charges that are present on the leaves, they will get attracted to the positively charged rod and they will gather on the brass disc. What will happen? The more deficiency of electrons will be caused on the leaves, causing more positive charge on both of the leaves and causing a more divergence in the leaves. So we are having a positively charged electroscope. If we brought a positive charged rod near to the disc, the divergence will increase, or we can see it as like that. We are having a positively charged rod. If the divergence of the leaves increases, the material under test which is brought near to the disc will have the same charge as that of the electroscope. Why? Because the leaves of the electroscopes are getting more diverged. That's why we have guessed it to be positive. So what should be happened if we brought a negative charged rod near to the disc? Now we are having the positively charged electroscope. The negative charges on the rod repel negative charges from the ball into the leaves. Now here ball is actually the disc. Some positive charges on the leaves is neutralized and leaves gets closer. Yes. In first case the divergence is increased. Keep it in your mind and compare it with the second case. Now the electroscope is positively charged as before and the leaves are diverged. We have brought the material under test near to the disc, but the divergence of the leaves is decreasing. The leaves are collapsing from their original state. Why? Because as the negatively charged rod is there, the negative charges present on the disc will travel towards the leaves and they will neutralize the positive charges present on both of the leaves. As the positive charges are getting less, so there will be less deficiency. The amount of positive charge will reduce and reducing the divergence of leaves. In this way the leaves will get collapsed. That's how we can guess that if a oppositely charged rod from opposite to what? From the charge of electroscope. If the oppositely charged rod is brought near to the disc of electroscope, the divergence of leaves will be decreased, as we know that the electroscope is positively charged. So if the divergence increases, the body will have same charge to that of the electroscope. If the divergence decreases, the body will have opposite charge as compared to the electroscope. That's how the electroscope is used to detect the type of charge on a body. The last purpose of the electroscope is identifying conductors and insulators. How a body will be guessed as conductor or insulator by using electroscope. Electroscope can also be used to distinguish between insulators and conductors. Touch the disc of a charged electroscope with material under test. Now it is that you have to touch the electroscope with the material under test. If the leaves collapse from their diverged position, the body would be a good conductor. If there is no change in the divergence of leaves, it will show that the body under test is an insulator. Now again you have to keep in your mind that here we are using a charged electroscope. So what will happen? Let's see. Here is here is a charged electroscope. Here is a charged electroscope. Let's see if the leaves leaves are in the diverged condition. It means the electroscope is charged, either positive or negative. For example, if it is positively charged, whole of the electroscope has positive charge, the leaves are having positive charge, that's why they are diverged. If we touch the material under test with the disc, if the material is insulator, it will not have any electrons, free electrons to move from it to the disc. So there will be no change in the divergence of the electroscope. But if the object is conductor, it will have a lot of free electrons that can move from it to the electroscope. So its electrons will move to the electroscope and it will neutralize the positive charges. As the charges will be reduced, so there will be a change in the divergence of the leaves. That is the case for positively charged electrons. What will happen if we have a negative charge electroscope? Suppose the electroscope is negatively charged, the leaves and the disc will have negative charge. If the material under test is touched with the disc, if there is no divergence, no change in the divergence, it means the object is insulator. But if it is a conductor, what will happen? It will transfer its electrons to the electroscope and the divergence, as the charge increases, so the divergence will also increases. So the divergence will also increases. Hence we can say that for the conductor, if the conductor is touched with the charged electroscope, the divergence will change, either increase or decrease. If the material under test is an insulator, there will be no change in the divergence of the leaves. So that was all about our today's topic. If you have any question, you are welcome anytime. Here is your homework. After watching the video and reading the topic from the book, you can check your understanding. Either you have understood it well or not. You have to fill in the blanks and only the answers. Here is when a dash charged rod is brought near a neutral metal leaf electroscope, the electrons in the electroscope are dashed by the rod. Electrons move down into the leaves of the electroscope. Since the leaves are now both negatively charged, they dash each other and move dash. You have to complete this. You have to fill these blanks, and you have to send the answers by numbering 1, 2, 3 and 4. Only 4 blanks are there, so you have to send me 4 answers for this in sequence. Thank you.